baby.
Apple Watch Series 7.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's so nice.
I see rocks. Oh, is this the outdoor rugged one?
Oh, is this the rugged watch we were hearing about? Wait a sec. What?
Oh, what? The leaks didn't look like that.
Wait, this design's the same?
It's not flat. John Prosser was wrong.
My mind just exploded.
You see, what happened was, I will give you $10 if you subscribe right now. That's actually not true, I lied. But subscribe anyway and turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Front Page Tech, FPT, Fapata, the show that gives you all the tech news from one geek that is me to another that is you. How's your week going? Listen, you might want to put on your tinfoil hats for this episode. Listen, the things I'm about to say, they're going to sound crazy, so you need a tinfoil hat to participate in today's episode. But I ask you that you just hold whatever your comments are. You hold them. You write it down, fold it up, put it in your pocket, save it for later, and then watch the whole episode. And then once you've heard me out, once you've watched the show, then you can unfold your comment and post it. Okay? All right. So what happened? Scratch that. What the happened at the iPhone 13 event? I mean, first of all, let's just start with this part. A lot of the leaks that you got going into this event were just not correct. Like, even from some of the most credible sources that we have in this industry, got it wrong. Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, arguably the most accurate source of all time, he boofed. He boofed so hard. According to him, this event was just going to be iPhone and Apple Watch. And then there was going to be a second event, probably next month, for Macs and iPads. But what happened? Event started with iPads. Both, actually. And the iPad 9, the Dollar Tree iPad, was not any thinner as he said it would be. He said the design would be getting thinner this year. Nope, wrong right off the bat. iPad 9 looks the same as always. It was then, in that moment, I realized we were about to be taken for a ride. Do you know how often Mark Gurman is wrong? Not very often. Gurman also mentioned that the chip inside Apple Watch Series 7, the S7 chip, would be new, would be faster. In fact, there was a separate report not from Gurman mentioning that the chip would be dual-sided, like double-sided. But in the event, Apple didn't even mention the chip. They didn't talk about it. Why? Because it's actually the S6 chip with S7 basically written on it with silver Sharpie. I mean, seriously, it's the same chip as last year, just with a new name. Mark Gurman also said that this watch was going to get a laminated display. Can you guess? No. Also nope on that one. In fact, the glass panel for this display is even further from the OLED panel than before. As you can see here, this is right on Apple's website. You can look this up for yourself. But John, what about you? You said yes, I know, okay? That brings us to this. The redesign of Apple Watch Series 7 that I gave you, that I leaked back in May. An Apple Watch with flat sides. I take responsibility for that. That's what I showed you. A report, by the way, that was repeatedly echoed and corroborated by other sources other than me that are more credible than I am. Kuoming Chi, just last week, the key selling point of the Apple Watch 7 is the dramatic change in design, which is the most significant change in the design of the Apple Watch ever, with the flat edge and narrow bezel design. Mark Gurman on Sunday, 2 days before the event. While the iPhone won't be seeing any momentous design changes, the Apple Watch will look for a flat screen and flat edges to match the iPhone and iPad design. Bruh. Even the exact CADs for this watch, for this design, leaked from an independent source, somebody who was not me, 91 Mobiles, showing something that is basically identical to what I had released 3 months prior. Dog, we got nothing even close to flat. In fact, in the event, they literally seemingly went out of their way to rub it in. calling it smoother and rounder.
And the shape of the watch has also been refined. Both the case and the display of Series 7 have softer, more rounded corners.
Oh wait, I didn't see this in the event. What's that? Is that WeVPN? That's right, today's episode is sponsored by WeVPN. They also just happen to be the industry leader for streaming, supporting over 400 streaming services. You can secure up to 10 devices at the same time with support for desktop and mobile devices, smart TVs, gaming consoles, browsers, and more. There's a bunch of reasons to use WeVPN over the others, but the best way to learn more is to try it for yourself. So click the link in the description and try it out today. Okay, back to the show. So, I mean, what was it? This is what we were expecting, but somehow this is what we got. What happened? How were we so wrong? Well, first, let's start with that because that is a fact. Like, no matter if I can prove that this exists or not, the reporting was wrong. The top leakers said that this is what you would get, and that is not actually what you got at the end of the day. That's not what you got. So, like, no matter what excuse there is, no matter how you frame this, we were wrong. I was wrong. So let's just get that part out of the way right now. Wrong. The question is, why? Why were we wrong? Some people believe that we were all just tricked, like that somehow the design that we got at the event was the design all along. And that flat-edged thing, yeah, it was just fake. We all got tricked by Apple. Got us. Do you really think that Apple somehow mysteriously got all of us? They gave all of us, all of our sources, all wrong information. Or like, some people believe that we're sharing sources, and that's how we got the same, but wrong information. Dudes, you two ladies, if we were all sharing sources, okay, I would be as accurate as Mark Gurman. We'd have the same track record. And, well, we do not. Oh, and by the way, these renders that we made weren't just based on information that a source told us, like, with words. I've seen people say, like, maybe we just misinterpreted the information we were getting. No! Listen, okay? I saw it. I saw this. Pictures of the physical thing made. Real, not just like some computer-generated CAD file. No, physical casing, physical watch, sitting on a table. Real-life pictures of the physical thing. Myself and Ian, who I hired to make these renders, we've both seen these images. That is how he made these renders. This is a real thing. We've seen it. It exists, and there is proof sitting somewhere. Listen, as much as I love all of your conspiracy theories, I would like to present you with a different one. One that goes deep. So buckle up. What I have been told happened, and what I believe happened, is that something catastrophic occurred during mass production of this flat-edged design Apple Watch Series 7. Do you remember the reports, like just a few weeks ago, stating that production for this watch had been halted due to issues with producing the new design at scale? That original report came from Nikkei, saying 3 sources said the current disappointing production quality could be attributed to the complexity of design, which is significantly different from that of previous generations of the watch, and the assemblers found issues when putting together electronics modules, components, and displays. In case you haven't noticed, this design that we got a couple days ago is not significantly different. The design, whatever they're referring to, that hit mass production issues was obviously something else entirely. Something more complex and something that Apple hasn't made before. Maybe something, I don't know, like this. You think that Apple suddenly somehow had major mass production issues, catastrophic issues, making a watch that is ultimately the same thing that it has been. You think they had issues producing a watch that is the same goddamn shape that it has been for the last 6 years? By the way, the production issues were also backed up by Mark Gurman in a totally separate report. Kuo-Ming Chi followed up just like a week ago, saying that production issues had been solved. And the solution to those major production issues? Well, I think it was this. Whatever this is, this Frankenstein watch. Let's run through evidence shall we? The brand new Apple Watch Series 7 does not even have a new model code. The processor, that's just reused from last year. I'm pretty sure the battery is just reused from last year. It's just a mix of old parts with some new parts. Like this OLED panel here, again, right on Apple's website, on the Apple Watch page. As Vadim from Max Tech pointed out, I think this is the new OLED panel, like the flat one that was supposed to be in the flat design. But when hit the fan and they couldn't properly fit new parts inside of the new casing, well, what do? You start throwing old parts in an old casing and slightly tweak the rest. The new OLED panel barely fits in here, obviously because I think it was made for a completely different design. So for this one, they just had to like bubble up the display glass and make it thicker to accommodate that display panel. And then they covered it up by being like, oh look, it's more durable than ever. Definitely did that on purpose. I think that all of it, was thrown together at the last minute. Which of course brings up questions like, wow, but John, do you really think that they just reshot the whole event last minute? No. Nope. I don't think that they reshot the whole event at the last minute. I think they reshot part of the event at the last minute. Need proof? We all know how great Apple's pre-recorded events are, right? Everything is thought out. It is intentional. All those cool and really impressive transitions that clearly take a lot of time to plan and execute. Yep. Nope. Not for the Apple Watch. Look at this. Would you just look at it? It's going from the iPad mini segment to the Apple Watch. Here, I'll play it for you.
With the even more capable new iPad and the phenomenal new iPad mini, our iPad lineup is the best it's ever been. Next, let's talk about Apple Watch.
Boom. You see that? Did you catch it? Hard jump cut. Like beginner YouTube sitting in their bedroom where their parents are asleep in front of their webcam level. Hard jump cut. We're looking at Tim on stage wrapping up the iPad mini segment, and then like in a super awkward cut, we're looking at Tim again on the stage, just a little different. You're gonna tell me that that didn't feel rushed? Like it wasn't re-recorded last minute and spliced in? Okay, but suppose you still don't believe it was last minute. Okay, this watch hasn't even hit mass production yet. Mass production for Apple Watch Series 7, like this one, the one they showed you at the event just a couple days ago, according to my sources, doesn't start until 2 weeks from now, which is why Apple has not given a release date. I mean, people would usually start receiving their Apple Watch next week, like with iPhone 13, but they literally don't even know when it's going to ship because they don't even know when it will be done. That is how much their plans have changed. Available later this fall. I mean, if they knew for sure that this was going to be done and it was coming next month, they would have just told us available next month, but they don't. No, it is panic inside there. And my sources that worked on this project are incredibly disappointed. They worked on this every day for months. And then when the event finally comes, Apple's just like, nah. So now I'll ask you, what do you think? Does all of this make sense now, finally? Or do you still think that all of the credible, reliable leakers, journalists, reporters, just wrong? You still think that? As for this design, who knows? Maybe they'll use it next year. Maybe this is Series 8, but maybe the production issues that they encountered were so challenging that they've scrapped this idea entirely. I don't know yet. I'm not comfortable giving an answer there, but if and when I hear anything, I will let you know. And if somehow I still haven't convinced you, go ahead. You can take your tinfoil hats off now. Thank you for listening. Go ahead and post your comments. Oh, and be sure to subscribe to me for more fake Apple leaks.
Fake.